So, Kaz, we see the Eagles hat, and as Kevin said earlier, go Birds, as the Eagles beat the Rams 37-20 on Sunday Night Football. Fly, Eagles, fly. Kaz, the last time I was on this podcast with you, which was a while ago, about a month ago, after I had to take a leave just during my transition here to Sonora. But the last time that we talked about the Eagles was right after they beat the Browns, and that started the winning streak that they're now on. And you were not feeling good about the Eagles at this point. How do you feel about your Eagles now?
Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is what I've been waiting for. Not necessarily the score, just the cleanliness of the game offensively. Very clean, very, very clean. I will say one thing: Jalen Hurts still pissed me off this game. You want to know why? Because I needed 20 more yards out of him to win a lot of money. A lot of money. The man could not throw for more than 179 yards. I took his low end of just 200 plus his alternate yards passing, and he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, man. And you know, to flip $5 into about $1,200, to end that being the deciding factor hurts. But outside of that, the best that I've seen this team. If you look at the Packers box score, like I said, Jordan Love, he only threw 23 times, only completed I don't think he even completed no more than 13 passes, something like that. Not a lot at all. But when you do that and you're sharp and you're not turning the ball over and your running game is putting up 255, one piece of your running game puts up 255 yards on the ground, you can never be mad at that. You can never be mad at that. I think we saw probably the honest best NFL running back that we've seen since God, I don't even know who. And what I mean by that is I know Christian McCaffrey. I know.
Oh,
Christian
yeah.
McCaffrey,
Listen,
right
listen,
now. Would you do it?
Listen what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
Christian McCaffrey, up until what I saw last night, was the best running back in the NFL overall for years.
Oh, no,
Saquon's
the best running back in the NFL.
Saquon is the most talented running back I have ever seen.
Wow.
I'm talking I witnessed LaShawn McCoy. You guys know I'm the grandpa in the group, right? So I witnessed prime LaShawn McCoy. I also witnessed Brian Westbrook when I was a kid. One of my first running back jerseys is Deuce Staley, which you guys probably don't know who the hell that even is.
No, I know who Deuce Staley is.
Okay, so
yeah.
So seeing Saquon do what he's doing this season, it's just one of I had a flashback to where I was like, I remember when he got drafted and they were showing highlights of him at Penn State, obviously, and they were doing the two visuals where it's him doing a movement and Barry Sanders doing a movement, and them saying this is probably the closest thing that we're ever going to see to a Barry Sanders, and he's bigger and stronger and probably faster, but Barry was more elusive and in his time was just unstoppable. But he goes to the Giants, and then the Giants abuse him. They don't build around him the right way, and we sit there, said, let them know we back up for real. You already know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't use him correctly. They don't build around him, and he comes to Philadelphia behind the best offensive line in football. Has been for quite a few years now, and you guys are seeing this guy possibly be the first 2,000-yard rusher in over a decade. I don't think that Derrick Henry did it, if I'm not mistaken.
I will fact check that, and I'm
glad please do
that name, because even bias aside, when you were saying that statement about best running backs you've seen, Derrick Henry is the name that popped up in my mind. Not even CMC, honestly. But
no,
I'll fact check that as you finish your thoughts.
And I'll get to that. I don't want to make this a whole Saquon Barkley. It's kind of hard not to talk about when it comes to this game. But again, listen to my words very carefully. Yeah, listen to my words very carefully.
Sorry, let me
go ahead.
One moment. In 2020, Derrick Henry had 2,027 rushing yards.
All right, and then before that,
1540. For someone else, I'll find out who else.
Yeah. I want to know. There was some stat where it's I think That was a while back. If that's the last one, but regardless, like I said, choose my words for exactly what I'm saying. Visually, I have never seen a better running back. Derrick Henry might be able to put up a lot of yards. But when it comes to what a running back is, I'm watching Saquon do everything. He turns shit to sugar on the regular. He can catch out of the backfield. He has insane vision, like in the depths of hell when it comes to a collapsed pocket. He just I lost for words, man. You know what I mean? And I hate to say this because I'm an Eagles fan, so of course anybody who doesn't know me would probably say, well, of course you're being biased. I'm being as unbiased as I can. I have never seen a running back look like that. From the stupid backwards hurdle thing that he did out of nowhere to this shit here, bro. It's like, come on, man. It's like, come on. I'm plugging and playing other running backs. I'm like, what if that was Derrick Henry there? I'm like, he wouldn't have done that. What if that was CMC there? He probably would have done that, but at the same time, probably not in the same way. You know, I'm trying to find ways to put other running backs above Saquon Barkley, actually just pure talent wise. I can't. Not right now. I can't. So seeing this game, Jalen losing me money, about as happy as I've been all season long. This was my favorite win all season long. We are 9-2. We've only lost 2 games this season, and this game is the one that's made me the happiest out of every game. Even week 1 against the Packers. It's week 1. Anything can happen. You know, you see teams that lose week 1 all the time that should have no business losing, and teams winning that have no business winning. Week 1 is always a coin toss. You don't know. Nobody knows who's going to do what. Okay? Then you see us, beating like the Browns, and, we beat the Bengals. That was a fun game too, but at the same time, beating the Bengals, there are still things that I saw where I was like, God, like, still getting bailed out. And then I see this game. And again, Jalen Hurts, 108 passer rating, going against Matthew Stafford. Got Quinton Mitchell on Puka Nacua. Only had 1 catch for I think 15 yards when he shadowed him. All Puka's yards came from the opposite side where either Darius Slay was or Isaiah Rodgers was covering him when Slay had to go out. I'm like, defense played lights out. Brandon Graham had one of his best games of his career against the Rams, especially this season before he got hurt. I believe on PFF he was actually ranked had the highest grade out of all of our players on our team, even over Saquon, if I'm not mistaken, because of how effective he was with pressures, QB hits, everything. So everybody from the rookies to the vets was playing phenomenal. It was about as clean as the game could get when it comes to the Eagles. And this is what I wanted to see right now, because you remember what happened last year this time of year. You remember exactly what happened. And it doesn't matter who we played. It doesn't matter that it was the Rams. Yes, the Rams have beat some really good teams, though. And the Rams were at home. So the Rams are one of those teams where I would not want to play the Rams if you have a game that's dependent on like you making the playoffs. I would not want to play them because at any given time, Stafford might go off for 350, 3 touchdowns. Kyron Williams might give you a pair of touchdowns as well. And what do you do when they put up 34 points on you? So they're a team where they may not have the best defense, even though the defense actually is playing really good this season for the most part. But like they may not have the greatest defense of all time, but their offense is kind of like Detroit, where in any given second, man, if they get hot, you're not going to stop that offense. So the Rams were what I felt a formidable opponent. Philadelphia, the last few weeks on this streak of 6 games, like I said, not really the cleanest football on offense. Defense has been bailing us out left and right. And this was the one I'm like, okay, this is a true, not just a playoff team. This is a team that can make a run right here. And so we got a true test next week against Baltimore. And then we're also in Baltimore. I'm just letting you guys know right now, we win that game. I think that we're probably going to be heavy favors to take the NFC, even over Detroit. Even if Detroit wins out and they get the 1 seed, I think that we're going to be knocking on the door of literally being favors to win the NFC if we end up taking down the Baltimore Ravens next week. So just shout out to the Eagles, man. Cleanest game I've seen in a long time. So I'll say, even outside of all the wins, cleanest game I've seen in a long time.
Well, I'm sure that Khalil will be hoping that the Eagles get the 1 seed, because that means that the Packers might have gotten a win against the Lions. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. And a friend of the pod who went to high school with Toddy, Khalil, and I, Rakeem, also noted Eagles fan.
Thank you.
He nailed it there. As he said, the last person to do it was Adrian Peterson before
Yes.
Derrick Henry. And before Adrian Peterson, it was Chris Johnson. Man, that's a blast from the past. And then 2003, Jamal Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens. 98, Terrell Davis of the Denver Broncos. And then we get into that category that you were alluding to earlier, Kaz. 97, Barry Sanders did it. 84, Eric Dickerson did it. And 1973, O.J. Simpson did it. Long before any other nefarious activities. The one thing that I will say was most impressive about this list is the fact that O.J. Simpson did it in 14 games. Everyone else did it in 16. And so that should be noted. So now, Toddy, I wanted to bring you back here up on the screen just to ask you about what do you think about the Eagles beating the 49ers division rival? Because usually in our group chat, anytime that anyone plays the Eagles, Kevin's like, oh, welcome to all the fans of insert team name here, and Commanders fans, Rams fans. I was actually rooting for the Eagles in this game just because the division games actually matter now. Like the 49ers division opponents playing insert team name here, it matters to me now. And so I was actually rooting for the Eagles, but how did you feel about this game, Toddy?
Well, I just want to say that Saquon Barkley is on my fantasy team. It's well documented on this show that I am the best fantasy player in the entire world. This is my first time ever.
Yeah, second time.
First time ever drafting.
There you go. There you
First
go.
time ever drafting.
There's that asterisk.
First time ever drafting, being a real GM, getting my hands dirty. I was on autopilot last year. You know, man, I just want to say James was up 50 points on me before Sunday Night Football started. 50 points. He was up 50 points. I had Puka Nacua as well. So I had Puka, I had Saquon, and Lamar Jackson is also on my team. So I was like, Lamar don't even got to play it down. And
hold on, you gotta tell the audience what's the name of your first place team? I'm in third place, but what's the name of your first?
Oh, the first place team in first place, Baltimore University. We know ball on the side.
Yes,
we know all the scouts. We make trades that people say that there's certain people on the show that said I was only going to win 2 games.
Kevin,
I'm in first place now. That's all I got to say. But let's just get back to the game. I mean, the Eagles were kind of just had their feet up the entire game. They were down 7-3 at one point, but I don't think they were ever really worried. Saquon had like the game of the year, like from anybody. Like he had 255 yards rushing.
It was Jamar Chase before that, and now it's definitely Saquon.
Yeah, so I mean, like he's like an MVP candidate. I don't think a running back's won MVP since Adrian Peterson, right? Was he the last player to do it? So, I mean, gosh, just look at the team. They're night and day, just like they didn't even have Devonta Smith, and like it was like, okay, like go ahead, we'll just give the ball to Saquon more. Like, I just think this Eagle team is very dangerous. One of the best teams in the league. I am just speechless on how crazy it is. Just the Eagles' offensive line has always been really good. And when you get a guy like Saquon Barkley he literally, like, for pennies, like, he walked nothing. He's like, hey, they don't want me no more.
Number 1 offensive line. Sorry, I had to just correct you there.
Okay. Yeah, so the Eagles' offensive line, one of the best in the league, as we all know. You get a guy like Saquon Barkley to come from the rival team in New York and like, oh yeah, they don't want me over there no more. They're just, you got.
Hey, how about you go test the market and give me your word that you're gonna circle back to us.
Yeah, just let us know whatever it is, and then let us know what they're offering, and we'll try and match it. All right, here's the offer. Yeah, man, I don't know. I can't pay a running back that much. Oh, you couldn't do that, huh? What about the quarterback? What about him too? You guys? Oh, he's gone too. Okay, got you. So it's a shit show over there in New York. Saquon is you just never see him this happy. Look how happy he is. You see him dancing in the end zone with AJ Brown. He is so happy. He's doing TikTok dances in the end zone. He never knew life like this could be this good. He never knew what it was like. And all the New York fans are kicking themselves. John Mara is like, he might fire Joe Shane. I saw a report saying that everybody might be out of there. Just we're cleaning house. And I mean, for him to go from literally a 9-day situation, and Howie Roseman, one of the best GMs in the league, as we all know, for him to get a guy like Saquon in the offseason and just add to what they already had. Their offense was already pretty potent. It kind of just showed last night. It was either Saquon or A.J. Brown. Saquon, A.J. Brown. One of those guys was going to get the ball. AJ obviously had a touchdown. Saquon was just all over the place last night. Like I already mentioned, he had 46 points in fantasy, which is insane. Yeah, man, this Eagle team, it's the Eagles and Lions. I feel like those are the top two teams in the NFC right now. Yeah, man, I mean, they beat the shit out of them. Like the Rams are like a solid team. I wouldn't say they're like one of the best teams in the league or anything like that, but Rams are a solid team. They kicked the shit out of them yesterday. So, and I mean, we had a bunch of guys in attendance. Kevin was there. One of my friends, or shout out to Salvador, listened to the show. He was there. My boy Elijah. There's a bunch of Eagles fans there. It was like an Eagle takeover. So, and Kevin Hart was there. I asked Kev if he saw Kevin Hart. He was like, I run into him. So, a bunch of Eagle fans were in attendance last night.
One other Eagle fan that I'll throw in there is my friend Matthew Pearson. He was at that game last night.
With these cheap tickets, everybody was there last night.
Hey, man.
Those Sunday Night Football.
No, they weren't cheap. It wasn't cheap.
I'm saying. It's Sunday Night Football.
It's just Sunday Night Football. You know what I'm saying? Prime time. You know, it's a good game to go to.
Wasn't at the game.
Shit, your boy broke nowadays, brother. I can't. I went to all them games in the last 4 or 5 years, and now I'm like, let me chill out this season.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Just with before I moved out of my mom's house when I was 24, I used to just spend all my money on jerseys and game tickets, and I would just spend my money willy-nilly. I have bought one jersey in the last 2 years, and it was because there was a sale, and I got myself a Breanna Stewart WNBA New York Liberty jersey.
You deserve it, Shaun.
Hey, I appreciate it. Champions. And I got it before, so ain't no bandwagon around here. Not that was ever a concern. Anyways, Khalil, I wanted to ask you, as obviously noted Packers fan, are you concerned about the Eagles? Because we know that the Lions are in your division, but are you concerned about the Eagles? Maybe not before the playoffs, but if you have to see this Eagles team led by Saquon Barkley and the number one offensive line in football, and with how that defense has been humming, are you concerned, Khalil, as a Packers fan of these Eagles?
I'm gonna keep it 100. No, but I'm going to say, and here's why. They still have Jalen Hurts as quarterback. He's not that accurate with the football, and we all know he's not. There's a reason Tua started over him in college at one point. But am I nervous about Saquon? Hell yeah. He just put up 300 yards by himself. 300 yards. No one is doing that. No one in their right mind is putting up 300 yards by himself. And that defense is solid. So that week 1 loss we had,
Did Darius Slay get hurt last night?
I think we could. Huh?
He did. Concussion. Right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But I think they're and it pains me to say, they're the best team in the NFL. Granted, just not even based off of the Detroit Lions record. They're better than the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna be solid. Detroit Lions, they're a little shaky at times. They haven't really, they've been blowing out teams, but they're blowing out teams they're supposed to blow out. They're not really beating teams like they're supposed to. Like, they beat us by 10 points. And at that, it was self-inflicted wounds from us, which led to them beating us. No excuses there, but they beat us. They got the dub. But the Eagles are literally the best team in the league, in my opinion. And that's saying
why. All right. Well said. Kaz, for the audio-only listeners, you decided to put on your stunner shades, and I know that you got to get going as you're.
No, I'm sticking around. No, fuck that. I'm staying.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
all
I
right,
ain't going nowhere.
all right. Khalil got Cass feeling good. What led you to putting on those sunglasses? Just the fact that the Eagles are riding high right now.
Because I tried. I'm tired of being nice to opposing teams fans. Like I tried, bro. I said week one, we didn't, week one we won, but it's week one, anything can happen. I take it back now. No, we already beat these motherfuckers, bro. So we already beat the Packers. We know what Jordan Love is gonna bring to us. You know what I'm saying? We know who Josh Jacobs is. Our defense has only gotten better as the season, just better every week. Every week. And guess what? Our team found a true identity at the right time.
Are you confident in Jalen?
I'm confident in Jalen Hurts throwing 15 to 20 times, putting up about 150 to 170 yards,
How many picks?
0 interceptions, 1 touchdown.
That he throws picks. He hasn't been throwing picks lately.
Yeah, no, he
has.
Listen, Jordan Love leads the league in interceptions. I ain't trying to hear that. But
I'm confident in Jalen Hurts 110%.
We're still winning.
He's already been to a Super Bowl. He's a seasoned vet now. You know what I'm saying? He's already been there. That's we may not won the Super Bowl, but we got there. I don't remember the last time the Packers. I think last time y'all was there is when Aaron Rodgers.
If the playoffs were to start today, would you guys play the Packers in round one?
We are the.
You guys are.
I think we would.
They're the 2 seed.
No,
they're the 2 seed, right?
Well, it depends if we.
2 seed?
Yeah, we're 2 seed. We're 2 seed. You guys are the 5 right now.
All right, then we play the Vikings. We'll be playing the Vikings or something.
Okay. 2-7. So you guys play the Commanders then. If the playoffs were to start today.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Nope. Eagles are the 2, Packers are the 6. So yes, you would play.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I was
play
wrong.
7.
Forgive me. I forgot that the
2 plays to 7.
First round bye. So yeah, Toddy, you nailed it.
2 plays to 7.
It'd be an Eagles and Commanders matchup right now.
There we go.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I know we ain't gonna spend all the time talking about the Eagles right now, but I'm just saying, for you to say that you ain't scared of us, you got to give us more respect than that.
We're not scared. We're not scared of y'all. But listen, y'all did y'all thing week one. Y'all got the victory. Can't deny it. But
we gonna see.
We both teams played sloppy, and the score was what? You guys won by 5 points. 5, right? If I'm correct.
Brazil.
Yeah, in Brazil.
5 points, right?
Yeah.
Jordan. Yeah.
And it took Hurts throwing like 2 interceptions. It took Hurts having a real bad game.
We found our identity as well. We're running it down your throat. I don't think anybody.
That's what we're gonna do actually, because we have a Saquon.
That's what we're doing. And you got Josh Jacobs. We got Josh Jacobs.
Hey,
listen.
I know that you wanted to say one other thing, and Kaz, you as well, but I will say, just to play devil's advocate here, Khalil, I don't think that you can just call Jacobs Josh. You can refer to Barkley simply as Saquon. So that is a significant difference.
Yeah, you're talking about we got Josh. I'm like, Josh who? Josh Dobbs? Joshua Kelly? Josh Allen?
We only have one Josh that matters.
But if you were to take Josh and just mold him into Saquon with the same name, and we said Josh, you know who we're talking about. So there's levels to this. There's levels to this.
Instagram name is Saquon.
You're right. Saquon is the best back in the NFL right now. Saquon by far the best running back in the NFL.
I kind of want to play them, man.
We have a top 3 back as well. We have a top 3 back as well, right? Josh is 3rd on this list of running back.
You're right.
I'm not worried about it. We
margin.
have weapons. Y'all have weapons. Oh, that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I kind of want to play the Packers, but I got bigger fish to fry in the playoffs. I want that one seed.
Listen. This is how I know we're a better team than what most people think. We had a backup starting for us for 3 games straight and won all 3 games.
I'll give you that.
Can you guys say the same?
Can't right now. Jalen Hurts been playing all the games every week,
Oh, okay, and guess what? Jalen Hurts
0-1 for us.
Hey, you know what? If we don't get that 1 seed from Detroit, I'm cool with that. Packers, Eagles, you know what I'm saying? If you guys, well, actually, you guys had to be the 7th seed, so it wouldn't happen. But if for some reason it turns out that we play in the playoffs, I'm gonna remember this. I gotta remember this one.
I hope for either sake, if we do, I hope I come back and weather the outcome. If I'm on here talking or you on here talking, I will take it.
I'll just say this before you move on, Shaun. I think you should hope to not see us in the playoffs and just keep it at that. Pray, just hope that you don't see, because it's going through the link. And
What did Ric Flair say? If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. I'd rather beat the best.
Fair enough. He said, "Woo."
Well, I, for one, would welcome that matchup, because that's when Toddy and I could just sit back. Our team probably won't even be in the playoffs, so we could just sit back, get our popcorn, and enjoy as you guys just go back and forth. And Khalil, you know that you're always welcome here on the program. And so if/when that time comes, I look forward to it.